Welcome into 10-Minute Warning. My name's Ian.
And I'm Harrison.
And we're about to do a trivia question. Ready?
Okay.
Through last night's game, that would have been Monday night. We're filming this on Tuesday night. There have been 29 double-digit comeback wins in the NFL this season. That includes 3 teams this week. Can you name one? According to a certain site, that's the second most through 9 weeks in NFL history.
So the winner would have had to been this week.
3 teams did it this week.
Okay.
A double-digit comeback win.
Double-digit comeback win.
So at least 10-point comeback win.
Didn't the Patriots come back? Good.
Bonus points if you get the other 2. 2 more teams. I'll give you a hint. They're both playoff teams to me. Like, not a waffling playoff team either.
What was the deficit they had to come back from?
Double digit.
Okay, one was the Steelers. Okay, and then the Chiefs.
Yeah! Welcome into 10-Minute Warning. This is a podcast that you can also see on video. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Stitcher, Google.
All the best places.
I could go on and on.
Yeah.
But then
it'd probably stop pretty soon, though.
People would stop watching or listening, yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided to wear the Broncos jersey this week, and you might be thinking to yourself, why? They didn't win.
Yeah. Well, you're a true fan.
I'm a true fan.
Yeah.
We've been doing a sports podcast with video for too long where no one wears a jersey.
Yeah.
And 3, the Broncos have so many people hurt that I just wanted to wear my Von Miller jersey and think of better times.
Maybe they'll mistake you for a player and let you play.
At this rate, yeah,
Possibly.
then I'll get hurt, though.
Well,
the rest of them got hurt. Why wouldn't I?
Is it worth it? The opportunity to play as an actual Denver Bronco, even if it meant injury.
No, yeah, that's totally worth it. I'll do that. Yeah.
I'd take it any day of the week.
I've never even done rehab. Like, you got to live your life. I got to try that out.
Exactly.
I got to get to rehab at some
New
point.
experiences. Branch out.
Yeah. Try a whole new world.
A whole new world.
So, do we have any news before we get started with the rundown?
Yeah, some pretty big news broke today.
Whoa! Big news.
Yeah, so...
Wait, it's not about... Is it?
No.
Okay.
It's not about...
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So, well, I guess it does have a little bit to do with... But it's not about...
Okay, go on.
So, the NFL commissioners announced today that if the season, for some reason, is not able to play into the full 18 games, or the 18th week is reserved for COVID game makeups.
Yeah.
They're going to expand the playoffs.
Okay, wait. So they already expanded the playoffs before the season started to 14 teams.
Correct.
So what's it going to now?
16.
16 teams.
Yeah. And
that's if they have to cancel a game, right?
That's just option number 3 for them. So their backup plan right now is currently in action, and that's going to be week 18. And if for some reason week 18 or another week's not able to happen, then we go into expanding the playoffs.
Okay. So what you're saying is, let me just take this in for a second. What you're telling me is basically COVID-19 has taken the NFL, which had, I said it.
You said
so you're saying 19 has taken...
I think 19's part of the name too.
I don't know. Maybe people would know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But so you're saying 19 has really taken the NFL playoff, which used to be very unique for how hard it was to get in.
Right.
And expanded it to the size of the NBA playoff that people complain about. Because why even watch the regular season if 50% of the league is going to get in?
Correct.
But we were just talking about the state of the Broncos, and frankly, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, this opens up a huge window for if your team can win some more games, they might be that 8th team in their division.
Get a healthy O-line and just get some runners ready for December and January and see what you can do.
Yeah, make a run for it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally make a run for it.
The Panthers they've only won 3 games, but they go on a hot streak. They can make that. I mean, it's really easy for some teams that had 0 chance this year to make the playoffs to now possibly get in.
That might be the next time that the Panthers actually have Christian McCaffrey for more than one game.
That's true.
I mean,
he did look pretty good coming back.
But now he's hurt again.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
That's true.
And, like, as we've talked about on this podcast before with Saquon Barkley last year, we don't expect Christian McCaffrey to be 100% the rest of the year, really.
No. High ankle sprains are just something that you might as well have broken your ankle.
It's just harder for I see other positions come back from it easy. It's the running back position and a high ankle sprain.
Because you're constantly using you're juking with ankles and all that.
So you're just bouncing off it and left and right. And
Yeah.
so wasn't there another part of that NFL announcement? So the owners voted on this playoff expansion.
Right.
Plausible. And that's if any game gets canceled.
If any game, well, yeah, it causes Week 18 to get messed up.
Okay, so if any game gone, boom, more teams. All right, so what is the second part of the proposal?
There'll be no seeding.
Oh, okay.
So
they won't reseed.
yeah, they won't reseed. So, I mean, you could have, I'm not good with my numbers, but it's not going to be the best team plays the worst team the whole playoffs.
Right, they're going to be put into a tree, and it's going to be like a bracket.
Right.
That would be weird. This would all be very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Easy for first-time playoff watchers to figure out, though.
Yeah.
You just look at the graphic and go, oh, there goes.
Be just like college basketball.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they also made a minority announcement, right?
Yeah, so if a team, like, I guess sends off, but another team hires one of their minority coaches, they would get in return a most likely late third-round pick, but that's a pretty big announcement. I mean,
Yeah, it said
compensation for sending off minority coaches to other teams for head coaching jobs.
Yeah, so it's like if you coach up a minority coach and they get a job on another team, you get rewarded for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's 2 third-round picks if you develop coaches and executives of color.
Oh, 2. Wow.
2 third-round picks, incentives to reward teams with draft pick compensation.
That's huge.
Yeah, so 2 late-round picks. And this rule got passed at the perfect time for Eric Bieniemy.
Mm-hmm.
Who I already think was the number 1 coaching candidate. I mean, we have to see what jobs open up, but how do you not see Eric Bieniemy with Deshaun Watson in Texas right now, like the Texans?
Yeah, he'd be a perfect fit.
Or once we get around to the Jets here in a second, I'll give you plenty of reasons why they could be having a new head coach along with everything else.
Yeah.
So let's get on with the rundown.
Okay.
Our first game up on the slate, Colts-Titans.
Colts-Titans.
Now, we're doing this podcast earlier in the week than we usually would. You'd usually hear this on Thursday. The lines are a little bit fleshed out more. Like, by Thursday, it's Tuesday. So this is more of where the line is opening.
Yep.
And we're going to tell you about where it's opening, and then you have to do the research from there on where it's gone. But basically, the Titans are a 2-point favorite currently. It opened at 1, so it's already moved up a point. That means people are starting to put money on the Colts.
Yeah, I can see that being a divisional game.
Being a divisional game, and would you believe it if I told you the Colts are only 1 win behind the Titans?
I would believe it.
The Titans got a hot start, but they've dropped a couple. I mean, they're 6-2. Colts are 5-3. Division game, it is in Tennessee, but 2-point spread, 48.5 over under. Like, they're not. It's projected to be a slugfest.
Yeah,
I think it's going to come down to the running backs. I think,
without a doubt. I mean, Derrick Henry, and then you have the whole running back room of the Colts because they have like 4 guys on that team that can run the ball.
They got 4 teams. They got like 4 guys, and they won't let Jonathan Taylor run enough for me. I just want Jonathan Taylor to run. That's all I want. And the second half of this game this week, Jordan Wilkins got more carries.
Yeah.
Last week, it was this whole mystery of is he hurt, is he not hurt? This time, it's like you're just giving Jordan Wilkins some run. And luckily for me and other Jordan Taylor fantasy owners, he didn't do anything with it in this last game.
Yeah.
2 games ago, he was looking pretty good. Last game, not so much. Teams need to realize this. And I think they do, but sometimes they just let guys in the locker room, they want to give them a shot.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a Tony Pollard, when you're an Alexander Madison, when you're one of these secondary guys who comes out on gadget plays or like comes out on plays where they're not expecting a run, and then you get to go against a soft defense.
Yeah.
And then you step into that main role. I mean, Giovanni Bernard and Joe Mixon are the worst example because somehow Giovanni, when Joe Mixon's gone, is good. But when Joe Mixon is there, they don't let him get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But Taylor was handling the load better. Wilkins, he takes over that load, you're not going to get the same value. Dalvin Cook proved that. Right. I mean, in the best way. Dalvin Cook's one of 3 running backs you can play this year in fantasy?
Yeah, because all the others are injured.
In fact, this isn't even a trivia question. Just this is the state of fantasy football running backs right now in the 2020 COVID year.
Okay.
We are on the second half of the season now. We're going into the second half of the season, right?
Right.
The fourth highest scoring running back last week was J.D. McKissick on the Washington football team, who
That's a lot.
He put up 16.
Wow.
That's the fourth highest.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. You're just trying to find a guy with a pulse. Derrick Henry was below that, bringing me back to my point. 6 points, I think. 6 or 8 points on ESPN PPR scoring.
Yeah, you got to have more out of him.
Now it was a tough matchup last week, a lot tougher than this week.
Right.
I expect Derrick Henry to get right and to be a better running back than all of the Colts guys combined. What do you think?
Yeah, Derrick Henry doesn't really seem like the guy to allow himself to play bad 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. And
so
he just doesn't do it usually.
Yeah, he just doesn't do it. So I have the Titans in this one, and I think they'll cover the 3 points.
Do you think it matters the fact that the Titans give up a lot of their corners are not good?
Right.
And the Colts have they have T.Y. Hilton, but they don't. So the Colts don't have a guy that they're actually throwing to all the time. Phillip is still figuring it out. Mm-hmm. He is spreading that ball around. That makes me think the Colts have a really good shot to put up some points in this one, though. So I don't know. I mean, this could be a sneaky play. I'm still going to take the Titans to get right and the Colts to be a bit too big for their britches, but
that's how I am too. I think Phillip Rivers will get rocked.
Yeah, so we're both on the Titans. That's an early game. And that brings us to our second trivia question.
All right, bring it on. I'm feeling good today.
You feeling good about it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Just trying to be hopeful over here.
Okay. Tom Brady lost to the Saints again.
Yes. In very embarrassing fashion.
It's the first time in his NFL career that Brady has been swept in a regular season by a divisional opponent. Ever. And if you're talking about Tom Brady, that's a much longer time.
Yeah.
If you include playoffs, though, Brady has lost twice in a season to one divisional foe one time. I won't make you tell me which year it is, but which of his former divisional foes actually beat Brady twice in a season, including playoffs. Now, they didn't sweep him, but they beat him twice in a season because of this team also made the playoffs.
Huh. Okay, not feeling as confident anymore.
Well, you know his division. That makes it multiple choice.
Is it his current division or his old division? Or it's just overall?
No, it's happened once before
so
this
it's
season.
His old division. Yeah.
Yes, so it has to be.
The only team that I remember... Yeah. The only team I remember really making the playoffs was the Jets.
That's the 2010 Jets.
Yeah.
Those
Mark
AFC
Sanchez.
Championship Jets. Yes.
Mark Sanchez. And with Rex Ryan.
Jets, Jets.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the only team from that division I can remember making the playoffs.
I thought I might have thrown you off with maybe the Bills in the past 2 years or maybe the Dolphins the wild card year. The wild card year.
Yeah.
Wild card. What am I saying? The Wildcat.
Oh, okay.
Wow. The Wildcat. Remember that?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't the Bills because I knew it hadn't happened recently. Like, this loss couldn't have happened.
If it was going to happen this year, though, it'd be the Bills, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But Tom Brady's been to so many Super Bowls lately.
Yeah.
Before he moved on to the Buccaneers. It had to be the Jets.
So that brings us to our next matchup of the Washington football team and the Lions.
Yeah, I think this will be a pretty good game for considering how equal the teams are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 3-win Lions, 2-win football team. Now, this is Alex Smith's first start since November 18th of 2018 when he got that gruesome leg injury. This game is going to happen on November 15th, 2020. Almost 2 years to the day since we saw Alex Smith start a game. Now, he's played. Right. This was him starting a game. Do you have confidence that Alex Smith is going to bring fresh energy to this team and win? Or do you think that the Lions it's in Detroit?
Yeah, I have to still go with the Lions. Alex Smith, I mean, it's not even Alex Smith. It's just the team as a whole I don't have faith in.
Yeah.
I mean, they came off playing the Giants last week and got beat. I just don't think they have confidence right now. They don't have it figured out in Washington.
Yeah, so you're going to go with the Lions?
I'm going to go with the Lions.
And they're 4-point favorites. Are you taking the points? I mean, you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take them. Yeah.
I'm actually going to take the football team on this one.
Okay.
Here's why. I just don't think the Lions are consistent.
Yeah, they're not.
And I think that if Alex Smith can do some stuff with those weapons, scary Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
McLaurin's good. I mean, there's not much else to talk about weapons-wise, but J.D. McKissick, a couple dump-off throws to the running back, and I think that D-line might not let Stafford have time to set. They're having a little bit of Marvin Jones isn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't have a very good reason why. I've just got a feeling that the football team wins this one.
And I'll go off your inconsistency comment
Yeah.
and say they lost last week, so most likely they'll win this week.
Who, the Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now that's a good point. I don't know. I'm just got a feeling. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm believing in the football team's D-line too much.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not believing in them enough. But I think that's the
question.
That's the difference maker is that D-line. So let's move on to the Texans-Browns. Now, if I told you preseason that Texans-Browns was going to be a 2-win team versus a 5-win team, which way would you have put it?
Oh, not the way it is right now.
Yeah,
I would have had the Browns with 2 wins.
Yeah, but the Browns are sitting here at 5-3, and the Texans are at 2-6. The Texans, like we predicted, got all their wins by playing the Jaguars.
Yeah.
That's all they did was they beat the Jaguars twice. The Texans need to figure out a way to win another game against another team at some point. We know they're not getting a quarterback, but I mean, I guess they've got plenty of needs. I mean, they're going to need a number 1 wide receiver or at least a number 2 to go with Will Fuller.
Right.
I don't know if this year is going to be as good as last year. The Texans and the Packers, 2 teams that I cannot believe did not take a shot at that wide receiver class last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They wasted the draft.
I mean, Brandon Ayuk's even doing stuff.
Yeah.
He was a Sun Devil. Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards is starting an NFL factory out there in Arizona State.
He is. He's doing good things.
So let's go with, the Browns are favored.
I have a feeling the Texans are going to win.
I can't fight that feeling either. I feel like the Texans are going to win, but I feel like we're just looking at the Browns the way we always have.
Yeah.
That might be fair.
Do we know anything about the weather?
No, not yet at least. But I mean, it's going to be in Cleveland, so there's a chance the weather's bad.
If the weather's bad,
if the weather's bad, Browns all the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if the weather is good, I could see the Texans maybe bouncing back. Mm-hmm. If you're going to make a bet on this game, I would definitely look into the Browns cornerback health, see how the corners are doing. If their corners are beat up or haven't been playing well, I would go with the Texans personally for you guys making your bets for our show. I'm going to keep taking underdogs, and I'm going to take the Texans.
I'm going to take Texans too.
So we're going to take the points in the Texans. The Browns favored by 3.5. So even if the Browns win, let's hope they win by 1 or 2.
Exactly.
Then we're right. Boom. Jaguars-Packers.
I think this is an easy one.
Do we need to talk about this?
I don't think so.
The Packers are favored by 14.
Yeah, I think they'll cover.
Yeah, I'm feel good about that.
Yeah.
So, okay. Eagles-Giants. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because this division plays itself. Like, each team in this division plays the other tough. They don't know their own records.
Right.
Yeah. Like, they aren't aware that they're going nowhere.
Exactly. Hey, winning their division games is the only way they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. You just have to have that division win. 6 wins and an edge in the division, and you're in, baby.
Exactly.
Well, like we talked about, the Giants got the win against the football team. Mm-hmm. That's a lot for any team in New York City to have that many wins. It's scary. But the Eagles, man, I feel like the Eagles are the better team. They're 3-point favorites. It's in New Jersey.
It was a close game the first time. I mean, it was, 1-point game?
Now, we do have to point out that the Giants have more of their wide receivers back, but so do the Eagles. Mm-hmm. It looks like Jalen Reagor and possibly possibly, I don't have any info on this. Nothing outside of my fantasy bench.
Yeah.
Alshon Jeffrey is questionable.
Okay.
He's been questionable every week, though they have a game. But if they get Alshon Jeffrey back.
That's big.
Yeah, and then the Giants have, Sterling Shepard. Golden Tate was, we got to talk about Golden Tate from last week. So, and you probably, if you follow us on Twitter, follow 10 Minute Warning Podcast on Twitter and on Facebook. We put this out on social media over the weekend. You want to get all the latest dirt right before you set your lineups. Golden Tate, healthy scratch.
Yeah.
So we figured out, we were talking about this last week, how Joe Judge was going to handle the kind of disciplinary issue with Golden Tate, and then saying give me the ball more. You're ruining his wife came out and said ruining my career, or his girlfriend, whichever it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to put a label on their relationship, but that's just so interesting that Joe Judge did what we thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most hope I've had for the Giants franchise all year, is the fact that he's going to say this is a team sport. We're here to win team games, and if you're, we're not putting up with that.
Yeah.
That's the culture you need to build in New York, because you're going to get a bunch of kids with a bunch of money. When you draft them, they're going to be in New York City. There's going to be so many bad decisions they can make. You need to instill that kind of football locker room mentality, hardcore, to keep them in line.
Now, are we sure that this was a Joe Judge decision,
or could it have been a Gettleman?
No, or could it have been a Golden Tate? He's pissed off. He just sat.
Now, that does change the narrative a little bit, but it also makes Joe Judge's decision, or lack thereof, it still is the right call to not have him there.
Yeah.
Even if he took himself out of the situation, I think it boded well for the team. They won.
Exactly.
Toxic player doesn't go, win.
Mm-hmm.
Guy that's demanding more touches and everything like that, he went to the game before that, no win. You know what I'm saying? So, back to picking the game. Eagles, I don't know. I'm taking Eagles.
Okay.
I don't think the Giants are consistent enough to win back-to-back without Saquon
That's my
Barkley.
one problem, is I don't think they're consistent enough.
And the Eagles are coming off a bye. So
Yeah.
they've had 2 weeks for this game.
And they love beating the Giants.
Yeah, well, everyone does. Look, 2-7.
Yeah.
People are having a great time.
So I'm picking the Eagles.
So we're both on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Another trivia question. Ready?
Ready.
This quarterback is now 4-0 against Washington in his career, and has lost 1 in 16 against everybody else.
He's 4-0 against Washington.
Against Washington, and 1 in 16 against everybody else.
Is it Daniel Jones? We just talked about it.
I know. I wanted to move the question to make it a little bit trickier, but also, I didn't think there was any way you were going to get that wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought it was important for our audience to hear it.
Okay.
The Daniel Jones
Important facts brought to you by Ian.
And I wanted to see if you were going to pick the Giants before I pointed out that he only beats Washington.
Yeah.
What do you have, 3-0 now? Are you 3-0?
I'm 3-0.
Oh, man, with the extra credit on that first one.
Yeah. I'm 6-0 right now, or 5-0.
Harrison's hot. Buccaneers, Panthers. Holy division games, Batman.
Buccaneers bounce back.
This is a very different situation than it would have been a week ago.
Right.
The Buccaneers are coming off an embarrassing loss to a team that's going to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's what the Panthers were supposed to do. They were supposed to be coming off an embarrassing loss to the Chiefs, but instead they played them tough and almost won.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Panthers.
So the Saints clearly have the Bucs number, but do the Panthers?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You think they bounce back?
I think they bounce back. I think it's going to be hard to put Tom Brady, shut him down like that again 2 weeks in a row. But I will say the Bucs have not looked as good the last few games.
Yeah.
They played the Giants close. They got blown out by the Saints. So I'm going to avoid betting on this game.
Yeah, I would avoid this. The over-under's 50.5.
I don't know.
I don't know which way it's going to go. Who won this the first time they played it?
The Bucs. Or I don't know if they played it yet. Yeah,
no, they played once. It was late September, 31-17 the Bucs. Pretty handily.
Yeah.
I could see the Panthers winning this game,
I could too.
or at least covering, because it's a 6-point spread right now.
Not sure.
But I also think the Bucs bounce back. I don't think they're that bad.
Yeah.
I just think the Saints. I think Sean Payton knows how to beat the Bucs all the time.
He's got some secret formula.
Marshawn Lattimore has a secret formula for Mike Evans. Did you see what he did?
Yeah, like 2 catches every single time he's played him the last 4 times.
An NFL reporter, I don't remember the network, sorry, tweeted out the last 4 or 5 meetings with Mike, or the last 2 meetings with Mike Evans.
Yeah.
They meet twice a year with Marshawn Lattimore, about how he basically catches no catches at all, or catches 1 or 2 balls.
Yeah, I think it was 2 a game.
Marshawn Lattimore retweeted it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
He said lockdown. He said better luck next year.
Yeah, better luck next year.
So he's having fun with it. I mean, anytime he catches flack, they're like, please let me play Mike Evans again.
Right.
So are we both on the Bucs?
Both on the Bucs.
All right. Next, coming up is a game that I'll take seriously. I want to take this game more seriously than any of the Broncos players, maybe.
Okay.
Broncos, Raiders. I hate the Raiders.
I know you do. But I have to pick them. I think they're hot.
What?
They're hot right now.
What?
They're hot right now.
Explain yourself.
I mean, Derek Carr is having a great season.
It's okay. Trust me.
Nelson Aguilar is a completely new receiver.
Only 13 fantasy points. Derek Carr's not helping me a lot.
Well,
You know what's funny? Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. I have all 3 on one team. Each player scored 13 points last week.
exactly.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. I mean, for the tight end, good. For the other 2, I wish you'd done better.
Yeah. I don't know. The Falcons kind of ripped apart the Broncos in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I just think the Raiders are a better team than the Falcons.
I think that's okay. That's interesting. This is what I want to point out about the Falcons game and the Broncos game. So the Broncos lost a third corner, Devontae Bosby, to the Cardinals. He went over to the Cardinals because he was one of these guys that anytime they had an injured corner, they would bring him up from the practice squad or put him back down. He thought if he went to the Cardinals, he'd have a chance to actually just stay on the team. Okay? I really hope the Cardinals cut him this morning, Tuesday morning. I really hope that he changes his mind and comes back to Denver. Personally.
Yeah.
Personally. So, because what happened against the Falcons was they had 1 out of their top 3 corners.
Yeah.
They had 2 of their top 3 corners out. Bosby wasn't there, and it was obvious that stopping Julio Jones wasn't going to be easy without any of your starting corners. And that said, the Broncos, with no corners, no starting corners, almost won. They were 2 plays away from tying that game and going to overtime, winning that game. So that close on the Falcons. I think that you're right. The Broncos have struggled early, but I think with the Raiders, it's going to be in Vegas. They don't really have a home field advantage in Vegas yet. People barely know how to get. I mean, well, that's true, but fans have never been able to attend this stadium.
Yeah.
So there's not even going to be people in the outskirts of it. It's they're just going to be somewhere where the temperature's nice.
Everywhere.
It's Vegas, yeah. But 5-point favorites for the Raiders. I think that reflects.
That's a big point difference.
That's too big, I think. These teams play close, and if you want to play a drinking game, forget betting on the Broncos Raiders game. If you want to play a fun game with that game, every time there's a flag, take a shot or take a drink.
Okay. I know that's
the teams always get chippy, and there's just gonna be flags on flags on flags.
Okay. I'm not gonna play that game.
It's gonna get boring. I'm taking the Broncos.
Okay. I figured you would.
I mean, they're 3-5. They almost were 4-4. They were this close, 1 touchdown away. And the Raiders have squeaked out a couple. I think they're running thin on luck.
Okay.
Just my thought process. Hopefully, Derek Carr spends the entire game on his back. This player has had a pass and rushing touchdown in 7 of his first 8 games this season.
A pass and a rushing touchdown.
Yes. That's 1 away from tying the most such games in a season in NFL history.
Is it Lamar Jackson?
Nope. No Lamar Jackson.
All right. I don't know.
Just for the ceremony of it. Kyler Murray.
Oh, okay.
Kyler Murray was the right
Kyler Murray,
answer.
yeah.
Kyler Murray is having such a great season. He's one away from tying the most such games in a season in NFL history for a pass and a rushing touchdown. And that brings us to our Bills-Cardinals game. And let's start with the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's their best runner.
Yes.
Kenyon Drake's not there
Right.
right now. He's on the team. We're not breaking news. He didn't get cut. But what I'm saying is that Kenyon Drake is hurt. And Chase Edmonds, like we talked about at the top of the show, he can't do it on his own. He's a complimentary back. He's a little guy. Mm-hmm. He's not very big. I mean, I'm not going to go all the way to call him Darren Sproles, but he's close.
He's a good third down back.
He's a third down back. He's a guy that you want to have out on a route
as
your fourth option. Kenyon Drake down the middle. So it doesn't look like it's working with him between the tackles. Kyler Murray's the best runner. Then you go over to the Bills, where they're coming to play in Arizona against a team who is, frankly, not able to move the ball that well on the ground. Kyler Murray has to do it with his arms. And they just beat the Seahawks, which is a big powerhouse team in the NFC.
Cardinals beat the Seahawks too, though.
Yeah, that's true. So both teams beat the Seahawks. Yeah. But the Cardinals work harder to beat the Seahawks than the Bills.
Yeah, it took overtime.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are, division game. They're going to want to beat the Seahawks every single year. Like, their coaches are going to spend months working on the Seahawks all the time.
Right.
The Bills probably spent a week or whatever time that every team on their schedule gets.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discount it. I'm just saying that.
I'm still going to go with the Cardinals.
You're going Cardinals?
Cardinals.
I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm just going to think that they ride the magic.
Okay.
And they can stop the pass a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, they got a good defense.
Okay, so we're split on that one. Now we're going to the Chargers, Dolphins.
I don't know how you don't pick the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Chargers. The Chargers just find ways to lose games.
They find ways to lose games, and right now the Dolphins are winning everything. Since Tua, yeah.
Old 2-win Tua.
2-win Tua.
That's what they call him until he wins again.
Yeah.
You know what, though? This smells like a game where the Chargers win.
Really? I could see it, but I still think the Dolphins might.
I thought the Chargers would win last week because historically losing so many games by so many points had never happened. But this week, it just feels like the Dolphins are one of those teams that is not used to winning, might look past the Chargers on their schedule. But they have the Broncos coming up, and I'm a Broncos fan. Hell, I'm wearing a jersey right now, but they're not looking past the Chargers for the Broncos. You're looking at those teams the same.
Yeah, they want to beat the Dolphins just as much. Maybe a little less.
But the Dolphins have a good defense. Justin Herbert's a rookie who...
And the Dolphins have been scoring on defense. And that's, I think, sets them apart. They can get some turnovers from this young quarterback, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it feels like the Dolphins are going to win this game. Now, it is a sneaky spread. It opened up at 1.5 for the Dolphins. It's only gone up to 2.5.
Okay.
For the Dolphins being a 5-win team and the Chargers being a 2-win team, I'd expect a little bit more of a gap there. Maybe Vegas is looking at something we aren't with this matchup. But this would be an interesting game to throw in a parlay somewhere. If you were making a parlay bet and you were just doing a threefer, you throw in this with two other things that you think might happen, you could maybe make some money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make a single bet on this game, though. I don't know. I'm going to take the Dolphins, too.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen the Chargers implode too many times this season.
It's just become a common occurrence.
And the Dolphins they're having fun. Brian Flores. Come on.
That's a fun team to watch.
Oh, yeah. It's first time you can say about the Dolphins since Dan Marino was there. Or the Wildcat, as we've already brought up. Let's go on to the Bengals Steelers. This game may not happen because of blank 19.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good, but I don't know. The game's not really in jeopardy, but the game. He's going to have to pull a little Matthew Stafford and make sure he tests negative all week, and then it looks like he'll be available on Sunday.
Yeah, they said if he can make it till Saturday, he'll be good to go for Sunday's game. Okay.
And he's one of those guys that, from the reports I saw, Big Ben's been taking it very seriously, his distancing and everything. So He never looked like a guy that got a beer with the rest of the team after work anyway, you know?
Yeah.
He always looked like a guy that probably kept his distance ever since the motorcycle.
Well, yeah, and ever since he's always getting injured.
Yeah.
Sexual assault allegations also.
As soon as the sexual assault allegations, like eating dinner alone.
Yeah. I'm not going out to bars anymore.
So that brings us, well, let's make our pick first. 7.5 favorites for the undefeated Steelers. They got to lose a game at some point, right? This is the first time the Steelers have made it to 8-0. They almost lost to the Cowboys last week, Harrison. The Bengals have had 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
I still have the Steelers.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay, go for it.
Roar! Now, it's a 7.5 point game. I think the Steelers might still win, but if they let the Cowboys, led by Garrett Gilbert, get that close to winning, I'm going to give Joe Burrow, the hot Bengals, a chance to at least cover 7.5.
I agree with you on that. I think the Bengals can cover, but I think the Steelers will win.
So we're both taking the Bengals because of the 7.5 point spread. This opened at a 10.5 point spread. It's dropped 3 points already. So if you're going to bet on this game and you want that spread, you better do it soon. You better bet on this Bengals soon because that spread's going to move and it's going to be a lot closer by Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that brings us to our last trivia question.
Woohoo!
Making sure Harrison doesn't read any of my notes.
Yeah.
Got to keep it honest. Okay. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at what we're going to be talking about.
You're reading my notes, you son of a bitch.
What notes?
Can you tell me which team allowed 44 points to be scored on them over the weekend? That's the most for this team since 2009.
This is an easy one. It's the Seahawks.
Yep. Let me rephrase that. It was the most points that Pete Carroll as a head coach had allowed since 2009.
And he just got a contract extension.
The day, that's what I was going to say. It's so funny that the day Pete Carroll got that contract extension, he allowed more points than he ever had as a Seahawks head coach.
I'm not thinking it's a new era, what he's going to start doing, but it's still embarrassing.
It's one of those things that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's got like 106 to 61 and 1 record.
He's doing pretty good for himself.
Over like 10 years. Can you believe Pete Carroll's been there 10 years?
It feels like yesterday that he left USC, but yeah, 10 years flown by.
It's like one of those things with coaches. When they get hired, certain ones just have that feeling like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. He's never had that feeling.
No, he did to me.
Really?
As soon as Pete Carroll got hired.
Oh, I thought you meant like leaving the team.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. No, so I mean, he was not going to leave the team.
Oh, okay.
Like as soon as he went to the Seahawks, I thought, okay, the jump from USC, he's leaving college, he's going here, and then he got Russell Wilson, and I was like, he ain't going nowhere.
No,
that's it. Andy Reid, even before he got Mahomes, I thought, okay, he's at least here 5 years.
Yeah.
He'll be there longer now. So a couple coaches like that. Seahawks and Rams, another divisional game, divisional weekend apparently. Who do you think is going to win? The 5-win Rams are 2-point favorites over the 6-win Seahawks, probably because they allowed 44 points.
Yeah. This is a tough one to pick, I think, at least. I have a lot of high expectations out of the Rams. But
you know who the Rams couldn't beat?
The Seahawks.
And Tua and the Dolphins.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Seahawks just because of their offense. It has nothing to do with their defense. I don't think their defense can stop anyone, but that offense.
I think Jalen Ramsey could only shut down one option.
Yeah. I don't think he can shut down DK Metcalf.
But are the Rams coming off a bye? Or was that Dolphins game last week? No, the Rams were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they played the Dolphins. So the Rams have had time to prepare for the game. It's at home. And they still have, against a bad defense, they're going to have Cooper Kupp. They're going to have Robert Woods. They're going to have that Higbee tight end. I mean,
Rams can make a run in their division.
I'm going to take the Rams, and I'm going to pick the Seahawks for a 2-game slide.
Okay.
Next up, we have the 49ers and the Saints. The Saints are 9.5-point favorites after Drew Brees put on a clinic of playing quarterback at an old age and really let old man Brady have it last week.
Yeah, the 49ers season's basically over with all their injuries.
Yet they're 4-5.
I know. They're still in it. But
Kyle Shanahan.
He's a great coach.
He
deserves everything.
Yeah. Wish he was on the Broncos.
Yep. But I'm taking the Saints in this one. And what's the spread again?
9.5 points right now for the Saints as we are taping this Tuesday evening.
That might be an exaggeration just because of what they just did against the Buccaneers.
It did open at 6.5, so it moved up 3.
It moved up, yeah. So they jumped it because of the game.
Yeah. They want to get some money on the 49ers. No one's betting on the 49ers. So
I'm still going to take the Saints with 9.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Let's both take the Saints and move on. Let's not overthink it.
Okay.
Ravens Patriots. This is currently listed as a Sunday night game. That's a real bummer.
Yeah, big bummer.
This is a big highlight of the season before
it actually happened.
Before we saw the Patriots play football.
Yeah.
And yeah, now the Ravens are 7.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay. Vikings, Bears, Monday night. Monday Night Football. We see you, Monday Night Football, 2 weeks in a row. Games that have come down to the last 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, down to the last seconds. Some of these most exciting Monday night games. The biggest winner in 2020 with these games has been Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
They've been getting some good stuff. And it's always the matchups that look bad, but they keep ironing out better. So, Vikings, Bears, in division game, 2.5-point favorite Vikings. I mean, who do you have here? I don't know.
So, to me, the Vikings seem a little one-dimensional. I mean, they do have good receivers, but they're young still.
Dalvin Cook is carrying the whole team.
He's carrying the whole team. The Bears, to me, have a great defense led by Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And I think they can take away that run game enough.
It's interesting because Dalvin Cook just came back and had such a good week.
Yeah.
And we've been
it was
talking
against the Lions, who don't have a defense.
That's true. We've been talking about Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen all year as this great combo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have they already played already, or is this their first matchup? It looks like this is the first time they're playing.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen these two teams play each other yet. And they're only 2 wins apart. This is a tough one. I'm staying away from this personally if you were betting money.
Yeah.
I would maybe take the under.
What's the over?
44.5.
Oh, yeah. I think this will be
maybe a 17 to 20 game.
It's probably going to be cold. It's going to be at nighttime, windy. It's not going to be good football conditions.
I'll take the Vikings.
Okay.
Just because you took the Bears and I don't know who to take.
Yeah.
So really just process of elimination. Nobody put any mortgages on the line because I picked the Vikings. It's just a feeling. But Vikings. So,
okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm Ian.
I'm Harrison.
And we're out.
Thanks for watching 10-Minute Warning. If you liked what you saw, give us a subscribe.
Yep, subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook Watch. We're on Stitcher.
Make sure to go follow us on Facebook.
Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're going to be taking questions from social media every week, and we'll get those out. We appreciate you watching. Now, smash that subscribe button. It's over there? It's over there?
I think is it up here?
No, it's definitely one of the bottom ones.
I don't know.
Which way
It's
am I
somewhere.
facing? I'm facing one of the...
It's somewhere, Ian.
One of these.